Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In this video we will be covering Aew Tag Division Resurgence that we are seeing, comparing the tag teams now to the tag teams that we saw originally in the company when it first started, and how bad the division was for a little while and how good the division is now. But this is Screw the Script, and let's get into it. So, I would love to just sit and chat and tell you guys how I feel in this video about the AEW tag division and the trios tags, just the tag teams as a whole, whether it's two or the trios. Back in 2019, when the company first started, you had, your EVPs that you still have left, with Cody now gone, but you have the Young Bucks, and I believe Kenny Omega and Adam Page are also the other two EVPs still remaining, if I'm not mistaken. They really put emphasis on the tag team division. And that got me really hyped because in 2019, when they first started, I've been a pro wrestling fan for 25 years, and for a while, the other huge company that we all know of, WWE, they weren't really doing much in the tag division in the years prior to their AEW start in 2019. So I'm talking 2017, 2018, that time. Not a whole lot was really going on. And so they put so much emphasis on the tag division early on in 2019 and even 2020. You had the Young Bucks, whether you like them or not. They were a huge part of it, and they are very talented. Regardless of how you feel about them, they are a huge impact in the company and its existence. And then you have, when you had the great pairing of Kenny Omega and Adam Page, that was incredible. Two guys who were singles competitors for the longest time, minus Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi in New Japan, teaming up, reluctantly. That was a great storyline. And then you had other teams, like young up-and-coming teams, Private Party. You had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And let's not forget, when they were really used to their full potential in the company, sadly they weren't these last couple of years, but the Lucha Bros. I'm talking Rey Fenix and Penta, who is now in WWE. So 2019, 2020 was incredible for their tag division, and it was really nice to see the tag division as a whole, just across the board in pro wrestling, get some love. Well, after the real hit with COVID, I'm talking the last 2 years, so 2024, 2023, and even I'd say like half of 2022 even, they really just lost it. I didn't really care about the tag titles. I didn't really care about the trios titles. But now let's fast forward to now, 2025, in February. The last few weeks to a month or so have really, really brought me back in the tag division. You've got the Hurt Syndicate as tag champs, and my God, is MVP a great mouthpiece. Shelton and Bobby Lashley are still incredible in the ring, even at their age. And then on top of that, you have, other teams that are forming. You've got, what are they called? I think they're called the Murder Machines, I believe. So you got Brian Cage and Lance Archer, good pairing of two big guys. And then you've got other teams that are calling out the Hurt Syndicate that are going after them, and I love it. Private Party was used again for the first time in a while. They won the titles for the first time. Their title run could have been a lot better. This hasn't been a perfect showing of the tag division. The company is not perfect. No company is. Private Party probably should have held on to that and been utilized a little bit more, but at the end of the day, they just weren't, getting over with the fans. Tony Khan knew that bringing in Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin and MVP would really bring over the tag division. They won the titles very quick after joining the company, and now you've got all these teams going after them. And then even the trios titles. I do not like the stuff with the Death Riders and Moxley and his group, so I really do hope that we see the Undisputed Kingdom win those titles off of them. Adam Cole is being used really well again. Speaking of Adam Cole, just to kind of tail off that real quick, he is looking great. I don't know if you guys saw or noticed, I guess, on this past, I believe it was Collision, or maybe it was this past Dynamite, when they had a backstage segment. He looked good. He looked like he has packed on, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 pounds of weight and some solid muscle to that as well. So I hope he stays healthy. I think that's why they are kind of utilizing him with the Trios title picture right now, just to slowly get him back into the ring, make sure he doesn't get hurt. But yeah, like the Trios titles all of a sudden seem important. It's kind of a shame. The only knock that I would have with this resurgence happening right now is Malachi Black leaving, probably going back to WWE as Aleister Black. The House of Black would have been perfect for how well they have been utilizing their tag teams so far in 2025. But he left the company, probably returning to WWE as Aleister Black. So we'll see what happens with him there. But again, just going back to the tag division, you've got all these tag teams. You got Action Andretti and Leo Rush, two young guys. Well, Leo not super young, but Action Andretti I think is not even 30 if I'm not mistaken. You've got Top Flight. They'll be used more, I'm sure, eventually. All these tag teams that have been in the company for a while and really just have not been seen on TV, because for a while the company just was not utilizing the tag division like they once were back in 2019 and 2020. And now I am extremely pleased to see the resurgence. So we'll see where this goes going into Revolution. We'll see if the Hurt Syndicate, I believe, has a tag title match, if I'm not mistaken, at Revolution with the feuds going on. Trios titles, yet to see if, those titles are going to be put on the line against the Undisputed Kingdom. I'd like to see them as champs. That would be great. The crowd would love it. Honestly, this all kind of circles back to just how awful the Death Riders has been. Back in August when it started, I was intrigued. I was curious where this was going to go. And now it's just been extremely slow, nauseating, and boring. And to not have the world title on screen, instead locked up in a briefcase, allegedly, if that is what's in there, it seems more like it is now, with like the Shane McMahon stuff not coming to fruition. I have expressed in my last video that I thought that at one point, for a short period of time, that maybe it was a red herring and it was secretly like a new contract for a figure in the company that would have a lot of control, which would have been Shane McMahon, but that seemingly doesn't look like that's likely now. So it must be the title that's in there, and please just end the Death Riders, get it off Moxley, put it on someone else that deserves it more, and we'll show the title on screen instead of hiding behind Marina Shafir and running away. And I really don't like, just pro wrestling as a whole, I really don't like when they do this, where you have people that, jump back and forth between heel and face, and when they're a face, they climb the mountain. They go through anybody and everybody that they have to get to that title, to get to that prize that they want. They don't take shortcuts. They don't hide behind people. But then you take someone like Jon Moxley, who did that and was that early in the company, and now he's just a coward, and it doesn't make any sense. They're supposed to be seen as this like great group with having the titles and him having the world title, and it's just falling flat. So please end the Death Riders. But going back to the tag division again, Hurt Syndicate, they, for the longest time, for me personally, they have been the most interesting tag team to hold the titles, because they are walking around with their nice suit and tie, MVP being a great mouthpiece for them. And they're just, they're chucking through people one by one, beating these tag teams. And now we're going to see, new tag teams go after them. If the Undisputed Kingdom don't challenge, and if they do challenge but don't win the trios titles, there's other trios tag teams out there that are starting to finally get in the picture again. So it's really good to see all this. And honestly, I don't really quite know where they're going with the Kenny Omega and also the Will Ospreay stuff. Was that just a one and done tag team that we saw? Because it very, very much reminded me of Kenny Omega when he was with Adam Page back in, I believe, 2019 and part of 2020 when they had those titles. It felt like that. Are they going to run it back just with a different person and have it be Ospreay and Omega? Because good God, would they be an unstoppable tag team? They would definitely be able to take the titles off the Hurt Syndicate. But I don't know if they're going to do that because we're seeing these singles feuds still going on. You got Ospreay and Fletcher, I believe, in a steel cage match. We have Kenny Omega facing the winner of this upcoming week's match between Takeshita and Orange Cassidy. Please God, don't let it be Orange Cassidy. He's just a comedic gimmick. He's a good worker, but he doesn't deserve another main title run for a long time. We saw that run that he had that felt like forever. Let it be that. Let him just be a good worker in the ring. Hopefully we see Takeshita and Omega go at it again at Revolution. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give you my piece on the tag division as a whole and how they are just, like the light behind me. They are red hot right now in AEW. They, like I mentioned, it just feels like early AEW days again with the tag teams. It feels like 2019 tag division. We'll see where it goes, and we'll see who is champ going into the following week's episode after Revolution for both the tag and the trios champs. I don't know, again, if both are going to be defended at Revolution, but we'll see who is holding that after all of that is done. And maybe I'll bounce back on this midway through 2025 just to see where the tag division is. So that's going to end it for this quick video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting me for the ones that do watch this and do like and comment. This is only my second video. I will be, pushing out more and more videos as much as I can. And so let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about the tag division. If you kind of agree with what I have to say. If you don't agree with what I have to say, tell me why. And I guess a fun question, tell me who your favorite tag team is in AEW now and who your favorite tag team was, or I should say who your favorite tag champs were in the company's history, whether it was back in 2019 or maybe a more recent team. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for listening.